Welcome everybody to World of Tanks Replays. My name is Maxwell, and today's first replay is from the user Sir Humphrey. That is Sir Humphrey, and he's driving the M103 on a standard battle on Muravanka. M103 is a tier 9 heavy tank for the Americans. I haven't shown a replay from something like an M103 for a while, so this one is pretty damn good, so I decided to bring you this replay. M103 is a pretty good tank. It's got improved armor, hull armor, over its predecessors. Also still has pretty good turret armor, although personally I feel like the turret tends to let it down somewhat when compared with, say, the T32 and the T29. Both of those felt like they had indestructible turrets, where this one sometimes lets you down. Gets a great shot on the M103 early on there to pick up some damage. Just going to be hanging around on the flank here. If this M103 drops back a little bit more, has a shot there, but he just faded away, so we're not sure if that one landed or penetrated. It looks like it may have, unless somebody else has done some damage to him as well. Still got the side of his turret. Unfortunately, that one just missed, as he is covered by quite a lot of terrain. Decides to switch up to the side of an IS-8 now, as that's going to prove to be a much squishier target than the almost hull down front of an M103. M103 backing off a little bit now. Looks like the IS-8 is going to get away in time. Can still kind of see the side of the M103's turret, but as you can see, the prodigious side armor of that turret just proving strong enough and holding up against the onslaught of the allies here. Although he's coming back up the hill, his armor not strong enough that time, as he takes another big chunk of damage and has to back off. So Humphrey finds a Tiger P here. It's a fantastic shot on the Tiger P. Looks like somebody took the track out there. I think it may have been Sir Humphrey. If he can reload his cannon in time, hopefully he should be able to pick up his first kill, which indeed he does. That's kill number 1. So, going to use this opportunity to advance up. Got quite a lot of allies pushed forward. The guys on the right-hand side are a little bit underpowered. You can see they've got a Jagdpanther 2 and a T34. Is that camping all the way back on the J-line? They're not going to prove to be much use in this battle. Got to hope that the enemy team doesn't overcommit to the Magical Forest, or else the allies on that side are really going to be in trouble, as they've committed most of their force to this side of the battlefield. Going to be advancing up to see if he can get some more damage on this IS-8, but looks like he drops back just in time. Super Pershing bounced a shot, and he gets some damage back on the IS-8. T30 comes in with the equalizer to take him out. Now going to have to try and focus in on this Super Pershing. Just gets a great shot on the weak spot on the turret to get a little bit more damage, and now the allies can kind of push the enemy back, except they've now been caught in a pincer maneuver. You can see the enemy tanks flanked around the side here. Sir Humphrey reacting just in time to get himself spun around. It's that M103 from earlier that they'd done considerable damage to, trying to get himself around behind this Tiger 2 quick enough to be able to get some damage on that M103 before he gets away. Wasn't able to hit the M103, but takes out the IS-3 instead. Now it's time to advance forward. Didn't want to get shot, so he just neos that shot there and dodges back as he fires. Elects to go for the Type 59 rather than the M103. The IS-3 takes out the M103, and Sir Humphrey gets some great damage on the rear of that Type 59. Type 59 can be a tough customer to crack, so you've got to be careful with that thing and try and take it out of a battle as quickly as possible. Tiger 1 shows his face, so he's going to get it blasted right off, as the Tiger 1 is going to be absolutely no match whatsoever for an M103. Still trying to see if he can get some damage on the Super Pershing. He's a much higher priority target than the Tiger is. E75 comes flanking around the side here. Gets a great snapshot on him. He gets some damage through that huge armor. Finally, the T34 in the rear is proving his worth, landing some damage on this E75. The Leopard PTA platoon mate comes flying in from the side. Sir Humphrey possibly going to go for the ram, but it looks like the Leopard PTA has the reload speed to take him out. Now going to move on to the guys in the middle. So they've done some great work on this flank, but they're still only drawing at the moment. Now losing 7 kills to 8 as his platoon mate gets taken out by the T25-2. And they wouldn't have been wrong for thinking that possibly this flank was all but used up, considering that everybody had pushed down the right-hand side and the left-hand side of this little hill. But to have tanks still in the rear of this flank is a little bit surprising, so not surprised they got taken off guard there. and able to take out the Type 59 finally. He's going to try and keep his attention on the T-25-2. Unfortunately, just put that one into the gun mantlet. Got a critical hit on the gun. But it's only a Tiger 1 there, and that Tiger 1's going to find it very difficult to penetrate an M103's armor, especially when he's kind of hulled down like this. You can see everybody backing off, able to get a great bit of damage on that Tiger 1. T-25-2's flanked around the side of the house, and a full health T-32 appears out of the mist. Looks like he's able to get back into cover as well. But here we go. It looks like some tanks have flanked around behind the enemy. He's able to take out the Tiger 1 for kill number 4. Still got to concentrate on this T-25-2 and this T-32, trying to keep his whole armor hidden as he tries to get some damage on him. The T-25-2 taking fire from the T-34 on the hill. So Sir Humphrey uses this opportunity in the momentary confusion. Nope, it looks like I thought he was going to advance forward to the house there. Looks like he's going to cut left instead. Waiting for his camo to kick back in and then cutting left behind this barn here. Could see that he could see the T-25-2, so just backs off, takes a shot, takes him out for kill number 5. This T-32 is getting absolutely pounded from all sides now. The allies have evened this one up excellently, now winning 12 kills to 9. So the enemy team falling like dominoes. You're going to be able to get in. Only takes tracking damage from the T-32. Changes his shot to the front armor, as that may have bounced on the sharply angled side armor. He takes him out for kill number 6. There is a Foch left over in the distance. Can he get a shot on him? Has a shot, but hits his Lorraine 40-ton ally just as the Foch died. So a little bit unfortunate that he got some team damage at the end there. Going to try and find the Jagdtiger 88, who is camping probably almost as far back as it is possible for him to camp for some reason. And he's going to get absolutely pounded by every single ally now. Going to see if Sir Humphrey can pick up the final bit of damage. He can't, but still 6 kills and almost 7,000 points of damage is an absolutely brilliant score from Sir Humphrey there, driving his M103, pushing all the way up the left-hand flank and changing direction quick enough to repel the enemy's pincer maneuver in the middle of the replay there. Then once that was done, pushing on further down the flank to clean up the stragglers. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around, because as always there is another replay coming right up. And our second replay today is from the user Dastan 2010. That is Dastan 2010. And he's driving the Pershing on a standard battle on Ensk. Just a regular Pershing, not a super Pershing. Your eyes do not deceive you. There are 3 super Pershings aside here. So I'm guessing this is probably around about the time of the super Pershing mission. Or I may be absolutely wrong about that. But anyway, this one is going to be fast and furious on Ensk, so Dastan immediately going to be heading towards the train line. Got to be careful here though, because you normally find at least 1 tank destroyer or enemy medium tank waiting down in this location. So has a little poke out to see if he can see somebody. Nobody lighting up immediately, so going to advance a little bit further down. As you can see, keeping to the right hand side here, using the buildings as cover. Not spotted anybody out yet. And I'm very, very surprised by this, because like I said, you can normally always find a camping tank destroyer at the other end of the train tracks. Having a look up the road there, still nobody coming into sight. And like I said, this is very unusual, able to get all the way down the train tracks to here. Doesn't want to push any further just yet, as he would get revealed by anybody that would just be hanging around in that location. But he's able to maneuver around at his leisure here. Nobody really showing themselves. The enemy team playing this one very, very carefully. Finds a Panzer Soufflé there camping in the back. Gets a great shot onto him. And has to back off while he reloads that cannon, as he doesn't want to get fired up by that guy, as he has quite a decent gun on him. Going to be able to do a serious amount of damage. He starts taking fire from the front as well, from that super Pershing. It looks like Dastan's going to be able to flank around the side, as he is completely occupied by that super Pershing. Gets a great shot on him, leaves him with only 83 hit points. He turns tail to run now, but I think Dastan should have the reload speed. Not quite. Tries to sneak it through the rubble there, and not quite landing, but there's no way this guy's going to get away. But Dastan's got to be careful not to tunnel vision. Doesn't want to get himself killed trying to find him. KV-2 waiting in the wings there, possibly aimed in on this location. Got to play it carefully. He is indeed looking this direction, and that one just ricocheted, because you know KV-2 greatest armor. Looks like that Panzer has set himself up now. waiting to return fire on this Super Pershing. So Dastan going to use this opportunity to flank around the side of him, although he spots some even juicier targets across the way there. He's going to leave the Super Pershing to deal with the tank destroyer, which indeed he does, as he gets rear shots on that Tiger 2, takes out a T-34. Now going to advance forward, maybe press home the advantage, as that Tiger 2 is dueling ineffectually with the Super Pershing right now. Looks like he's incapable of hurting him. He has got himself turned all the way around, rear armor facing the Super Pershing. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. Maybe the little bit of damage that he took earlier from Dastan, he spun himself all the way around, but that just puts his rear armor towards the entirety of the allied team, and they're able to take him out. Not quite sure what was going through the mind of the Tiger 2 driver, but that's pretty much the city all sewn up. There is a KV-2 still in there, but a KV-2 is not going to do very much damage versus a Super Pershing. Does take out an ELC AMX, the GW Panther does. And looks like the enemy team is still stubbornly going for a base capture. The platoon mate in the 112 dropped back to try and do something about it. Dastan going to come up round the back of this IS-3 here. It's a great shot through the back of the turret there. IS-3 spinning his gun turret around. He's going to try and help out his platoon mate here, as that KV-1S, once reloaded, probably could have taken out the 112 there. So being a pal and sacrificing his own safety against this IS-3 to help out his platoon mate and take out that KV-1S. Going to be flanking around the side of the IS-3 here. Gets a great ammo rack there for 754 hit points to take him out. What an excellent shot. Now he's got to spin himself around, because finally there are some Super Pershings camped on the train line. I know Super Pershings are slow, but 4.5 minutes into a battle is a little bit ridiculous to arrive at a spot like that, and obviously I'm only kidding. Gonna try and focus down on this Su-100. That one just about hitting the terrain. And the rest of the enemy team are arranged across the center here. Tries to have another shot at this Su-100, but he can only afford to poke himself out quickly, as he doesn't want to take any return fire from these Super Pershings and the Su-100. Looked like he was going to flank around the side there, but the Super Pershing is on the ball. He pulls into the same lane, so Dastan's got to switch further over to the left-hand side, and he's going to advance all the way down the train line. Going to try and flank around the side and the rear of these Super Pershings. Doesn't want to get spotted out by this Type 59, as that could prove disastrous. Looks like the Type 59 has got other things on his mind, though, as he heads off. This one's actually swung into the favour of the enemy team now, winning 10 kills to 9. Well, it just means more hit points for RNGesus. Going to come out and try and decide which Super Pershing to go for. Goes for the lower hit point one. Going to try and take him out quick enough. Both Super Pershings stubbornly refusing to spin their turrets around. Sets him on fire, but it looks like the Super Pershing has a gold fire extinguisher. He gets taken out now by accidental ramming for his last 9 hit points. And then Dastan can focus on the first Super Pershing, who suddenly now seems like he's only just realised that there's a tank behind him, as he only now starts to traverse his turret around. Gets his front armour onto target nicely, but it's still the rear of his turret facing Dastan. And it looks like Dastan's just going to troll him. He may be able to get a shot, but can he do any damage? Looks like he's having some lag problems. Dastan just misses that shot, and there's someone else come in from the front. If that was a Super Pershing, you probably want to focus on the Jagdpanther instead, as you might get some damage. But no, he gets taken out for kill number 5. Dastan just textbook trolled that guy. But they've only managed to even this up to 11 kills to 11. This is by no means a foregone conclusion. Jagdpanther taking serious damage from the rear there. Dastan trying to get a shot through the ruined train car, but it looks like he can't quite find one. Can he sneak a shot between the Super Pershing's turret and body? He can, but it missed. Jagdpanther gets himself taken out now by the enemy artillery. This one isn't going particularly well. That is a full health Type 59. If they're not careful, this full health Type 59 could wreck everybody's day. There is a Super Pershing and an IS-6 coming in from the right-hand side. IS-6 takes out the Su-100, so that's one formidable cannon gone from the battlefield. Dastan's got to be aware that he hasn't got the greatest armor in the world, and got to play this one carefully. He does find GW Panther now. GW Panther fires off a shot, but that one misses. If this Type 59 doesn't come forward, then Dastan can just sit here at his leisure in sniper mode, take out the GW Panther for a Top Gun medal. Super Pershing is now flanked around the rear of this Type 59. Dastan gets a great shot through what is probably his rear armor now. Nope, still got his front armor on target. He's determined to get some damage onto Dastan. And this IS-6 might finally turn up at some point. Going to try and flank around the side of this Type 59, but he's stubbornly refusing to present side and rear armor. Although there's absolutely nothing he can do here. Caught between a rock and a hard place. To be honest, he probably should have started running a long time ago. He gets taken out. Kill number 7, almost 5,000 points of damage. So absolutely awesome. Awesome replay there from Dastan 2010, showing his skill in the Pershing, picking himself up 7 kills, almost 5,000 points of damage, really being instrumental in his team's victory, flanking around and maneuvering in exactly the right way at exactly the right time. So thank you very much for sending that replay in. And don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. The link for that is in the description. Just attach the replay file or the link to the What Replay website to the email, and I can check that one out for you. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you found it useful, informative, you enjoyed it, or you learned something, think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks Replays, and I'll catch you guys next time.